The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Wedding crasher chaos looms as Daphne and Carter's big day approaches. The bold and the beautiful spoilers suggest that what should be a joyful milestone for Daphne Rose and Carter Walton may not unfold as smoothly as expected. As the couple prepares to exchange vows, signs are pointing toward possible wedding day chaos, perhaps in the form of an uninvited guest who could inject long overdue drama into an otherwise quiet storyline. Although Carter and Daphne are moving full steam ahead with their wedding plans, many fans have noted that their relationship has lacked intensity, emotional complexity, and the kind of narrative spark typically associated with major soap romances. That very absence of conflict may be the biggest red flag of all. On B&B, when things appear too easy, trouble is usually right around the corner. A romance that never fully took off. From the start, Carter Walton and Daphne Rose have struggled to fully capture the audience's attention as a couple. While both characters are individually likable and well-established within the B&B universe, their pairing has often felt rushed and underdeveloped. Carter, in particular, has a long history of falling hard and fast. Over the years, viewers have watched him move quickly from one serious relationship to another, each time convinced that he has finally found the one. This pattern has made it difficult for some fans to invest in his declarations of eternal devotion, especially when those declarations come without much build-up. Daphne, meanwhile, has remained somewhat enigmatic. Despite being positioned as Carter's future wife, the show has revealed relatively little about her deeper emotional life, her personal history, or the experiences that shaped her before arriving in Los Angeles. That lack of backstory has made the relationship feel more like a narrative convenience than a fully realized love story. Still, Carter insists that this time is different. He has repeatedly emphasized that Daphne is the woman he wants to build a life with, and for now, she appears equally committed to that future. A wedding location that raises eyebrows. If the romance itself hasn't generated much excitement, the wedding plans haven't helped matters. Carter's suggestion to marry in the Forrester Creations showroom has been met with mixed reactions from viewers. The showroom is one of the most frequently used sets on The Bold and the Beautiful. While it holds significance as the heart of the Forrester fashion empire, it hardly feels special or romantic for a wedding, especially one meant to signal a new chapter for two central characters. Many fans had hoped the show might deliver a more visually compelling or emotionally resonant location, perhaps something tied to Daphne's past or a meaningful place in Carter's journey. Instead, the choice of venue has reinforced the perception that this wedding is being treated as a low-stakes event rather than a major turning point. However, the simplicity of the setting could be intentional. A familiar, predictable environment often serves as the perfect backdrop for unexpected disruption, trouble brewing beneath the surface. Everything about Carter and Daphne's current trajectory feels almost suspiciously smooth. There are no major disagreements, no lingering doubts, and no visible external threats to their happiness. In soap opera terms, that kind of calm rarely lasts. Spoilers hint that obstacles are inevitable, and one of the most likely moments for trouble to strike is during the wedding itself. A ceremony that proceeds without incident would be out of character for the bold and the beautiful, especially when the show has been quietly laying groundwork for future complications. One of the most intriguing possibilities involves someone from Daphne's past. The mystery of Daphne's unfinished storyline. Last fall, there were indications that B&B was planning a storyline centered on Daphne's history, specifically the return of someone who once played a significant role in her life. That arc was expected to shake Daphne's world and potentially impact her relationship with Carter. For reasons that remain unclear, that storyline never fully materialized. Whether it was scrapped altogether or simply delayed, its absence has left a noticeable gap in Daphne's character development. Now, with her wedding approaching, the timing may finally be right to revisit that unresolved plot. A wedding has a way of drawing people out of the shadows, especially those with unfinished business. Will a wedding crasher change everything? The possibility of a wedding crasher opens the door to several dramatic scenarios. A former romantic partner could arrive unexpectedly, determined to stop the ceremony or reveal secrets Daphne has kept hidden. Such a confrontation could instantly raise questions about Daphne's past and whether she has been entirely honest with Carter. Alternatively, an estranged family member could surface. Someone Daphne hasn't spoken to in years, perhaps due to betrayal, conflict, or deeply buried trauma. Their appearance alone could rattle Daphne enough to cast a shadow over the day, even if the wedding ultimately proceeds. In either case, the presence of an uninvited guest would finally give Daphne a storyline with emotional weight and personal stakes. It would also force Carter to confront aspects of his fiancée's life he may know little about. A wedding that still happens, but not without consequences. Despite the looming sense of chaos, spoilers suggest that Carter and Daphne will indeed succeed in tying the knot. The vows will be exchanged, and the marriage will become official. That doesn't mean the day will be free of consequences. Soap weddings often serve as catalysts rather than conclusions. Even if no one formally objects during the ceremony, the emotional fallout from any disruption could linger long after the guests leave the showroom. Secrets revealed, unresolved feelings stirred, and trust tested. All of these elements could set the stage for future conflict. In that sense, the wedding may be less about celebrating love and more about exposing the cracks beneath the surface. Hints of future struggles after the wedding. Beyond the immediate drama of the ceremony, B&B has dropped subtle hints that Carter and Daphne's marriage may face serious challenges down the line. One particularly sensitive issue appears to be infertility. Recent dialogue and story beats have suggested that the couple may encounter difficulties starting a family. If those hints lead to a full-fledged storyline, it would place significant strain on their relationship, especially given Carter's tendency to idealize his romantic futures. Infertility struggles often bring up feelings of guilt, resentment, and helplessness, and they can test even the strongest partnerships. For a couple that has yet to prove its emotional depth, such a challenge could be make or break, a long-awaited chance to energize the pairing. For viewers who have found Carter and Daphne's storyline lacking, the prospect of wedding day drama and post-marriage struggles offers a glimmer of hope. These developments could finally give the couple the complexity and urgency they've been missing. Daphne, in particular, stands to benefit from a storyline that explores her past, her vulnerabilities, and her capacity to withstand pressure. Carter, meanwhile, may be forced to grow beyond his pattern of romantic idealism and confront real-world complications. Whether the wedding crasher turns out to be a lover, a relative, or someone else entirely, their arrival could mark a turning point, transforming a quiet romance into a storyline worth watching. What's next for Carter and Daphne? The bold and the beautiful spoilers confirm that unpleasant surprises are on the horizon for the newlyweds. While the exact nature of those surprises remains under wraps, the warning signs are clear. A wedding that seems too simple, a past that hasn't been fully explored, and hints of future hardship all suggest that Carter and Daphne's journey is only just beginning, and it won't be an easy one. As more details emerge, viewers can expect updates on any shocking twists, emotional revelations, and difficult tests that await this couple. For now, all eyes are on the Forrester showroom, where what should be a celebration of love may instead become the starting point for chaos. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Wedding crasher chaos. Uninvited guest derails Daphne and Carter's big day. The bold and the beautiful B&B. Spoilers hint that some wedding crasher chaos could be in the works. Will an uninvited guest derail Daphne Rose, Muriel Hilaire, and Carter Walton's Lawrence St. Victor big day? Carter and Daphne aren't exactly the most exciting couple on canvas. This pairing has always felt a bit thrown together without a lot of substance to back up their love. Of course, that's nothing new for Carter, who seems to fall hard for just about any lovely lady who crosses his path. Nevertheless, Carter claims it's different this time around and that Daphne is the only woman for him. Unfortunately, B&B has now given Carter and Daphne a dull wedding location, too. Carter suggested getting married in the Forrester showroom, which is disappointing since fans already see that set all the time. It would have been nicer if the show had delivered a more intriguing wedding venue, but the decision has been made. On the bright side, there's still room for some drama to happen at the ceremony itself. Everything feels a little too easy for Carter and Daphne when it comes to the bright future they're planning. Some obstacles are going to land in Daphne and Carter's way sooner or later. So maybe the trouble could start with a wedding crasher. There was supposed to be a storyline last fall about someone from Daphne's past coming back into the picture. Daphne's world was poised to get turned upside down, but the story was either scrapped or delayed. If it was just a case of B&B postponing Daphne's past shocker, then maybe her wedding could bring someone to Los Angeles. We could certainly imagine a former flame barging in and objecting, or an estranged relative popping up to witness the nuptials. We know that Carter and Daphne will successfully tie the knot, but there could still be a curveball or two on their wedding day. It'd be great to see some excitement for Daphne and Carter, since not much is happening for them at the moment. Carter and Daphne may also face some infertility issues based on some hints that are dropping, so their relationship will be tested down the road. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Daphne and Carter have some unpleasant surprises coming up, so we'll bring you updates on any horrible news ahead.